Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about sound designing, and here are some of the examples.
Don't know what's going on, pero me siento peligrosa. Feel it in my veins, ay, ay. Me vale tu opinión porque mi boca va de rosa. Promise that to me, bye, bye. Ay, no me duele decirte que ay, I'm so done with you. R.I.P. to the bullshit done. R.I.P. to the bullshit. Brush it off like Cool Whip. Raise 'em up to the ceiling.
So for those who don't know what sound designing is the art of layering sound to match the environment or give you certain mood or even impact to your story. It is usually a department in big budget film. There is a sound designer who comes in and look at the video and makes the necessary sound to give you a better view or a better feel of the movie. I have been doing some sound designing and it usually ups your production value. Like, sound designing is not that simple and maybe you learn it right away. It takes time to understand and maybe gather and or accumulate those kind of specific sound effects so that you can be adding them. And it's also a skill which you need to grow your muscle in. Like, you can look at a footage, then you see like, okay, in this one I'll have to put this and this somewhere here. Also, it's all about the timing. Like, you can't just be adding sound designing everywhere. Like right now, if I add sound of thunderstorm and rain, doesn't make sense, right? So what you need to know is, like, sound designing is not very easy. It usually takes time to grow the muscle, to understand like relatability of your footage and the sound you want to put. And it's also tedious. Like, for me, I usually do it as the last thing. Like, you need to watch the footage more, like almost like 10 times. You watch it, then you see like what you're supposed to add, what you're supposed to remove, in what volume, in what magnitude, like the effects like low pass filter, adding a low pass filter, high pass filter, reverb, those kind of effects. I'll give you like a simple tips that I've been able to acquire over the years so that you can make your films better. Number one, you need, like, what you hear is not specifically what you see. Like, for example, in this video, I don't know if crocodiles make this sound, but this sound is from a lion. Like, then I added some reverbs and some other effects so that it can give the impression of like the angry crocodile jumping for the meat. So the viewer feels like he was there in that moment, like seeing the crocodile jumping with all the eagerness, and it gives you like a good experience. Another thing you need to know, like, sound designing is not there to be noticed. Like, you can't just be putting the everywhere. It is there to be felt, not to be noticed. Like, make your sounds to be less noticeable, but at least felt by the viewer. This is an example of what I mean. So another thing you need to know is layering. You need to be layering your sound effects. Like, don't just use one sound and call it a day. Look at the footage. What can you add? What can you remove? Like, if it is ambience, you need to put that ambience. Like, if it's somebody walking, you need to put those footsteps. If it is water dripping, you need to add those water. Like, don't just think it like a overall thing. That's why I said it takes time and it's tedious. Like, you need to watch your footage over and over again. Like, for me, almost like even 10 times. So you need to layer those sounds and they need to make like impact. As you can see, this is a scene, but I have layered different sound to give you a certain feel. So you can ask me, where else do you use sound designing? Like, if you want to have a title, you can use risers or builders, like they give certain impact to your film. Sometimes you don't need to add sound effect because like the music takes the mood, and it's not necessary to add sound effect. So you need to give also room for breathing. Leave the music to take the audience, because it is not necessary to just be adding sound effects everywhere. Sometimes the music you choose usually also plays a big role.
But this time, gonna know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me?
There are 3 things which are very important in your audio track. 1 is voiceover, 2 is music, then comes the sound effects. And so this is generally what is called sound designing. Like sound effect should not be higher than your voiceover. Like voiceover needs to be heard very clearly, then the music should be down below. In such a situation, like if it's someone talking, you don't need to add sound effects. But you need to come up with your own creative style of achieving sound designing. So you also need to have good pair of headphones. Like for me, I have this Sony S460. Like they give me the sound quality that I want. I also use this microphone to record my audio when I'm in the field. And for interviews, I usually use Zoom H1 and lapel mic. Zoom H1 recorder is a good accessory to your kit. Like it can connect to soundboards when you're doing conferences, and also like people who use microphones, you can just connect directly to the soundboard and get the audio directly. So probably I would link you up with my best sound effects. I'll leave a link down below so that you can click and check them out. Use them in your films and your videos, then tag me so that I can see what you've learned. So I hope you've learned from this video. If you have any question, just shoot me a DM or comment down below and I'll surely help you out. Remember to stay safe and stay at home.